This student created a watercolor painting of Ophelia that captures the moment before her drowning, which of course could not happen on the stage. The artist used watercolor because she felt that it is a relevant and ironic medium due to her watery demise. Ophelia was last seen in the play singing hysterically and handing out flowers to the other characters, which exemplifies the instability of her mental state, having lost touch with reason after her father's murder and Hamlet's denial of his love for her. The content of this painting is mostly inspired by Ophelia's last appearance in Act 4, Scene 5. The artist painted Ophelia sitting on a bridge over a brook, in which she drowned with the grass and trees surrounding in brighter green colors in order to reflect the season. Some of the flowers mentioned were rosemary, daisies, fennel, violets, and columbine. The background of the painting is very simple and undefined because the artist's intent was to focus on the flowers and her position on the bridge, with the majority of the picture taken up by water, the means of her death. The artist positioned Ophelia facing into the painting with us only able to see her back. This is atypical to other ekphrastic paintings of Ophelia that portray her in frontal view. However, this artist's presentation of Ophelia's posterior illustrates the ambiguity of her death, as it is unclear whether it was an accident or a suicide due to Queen Gertrude's 18-line messenger speech. Since her death is left up to interpretation for the director of the play, the artist wanted to keep it that way in the painting as well. Lastly, the student envisioned two interpretations of the flowers falling into the water and Ophelia leaning over, watching its descent. One is that, in her poor state of mind, Ophelia drops one of her flowers and gazes absently at its fall. Because of her madness, she is lost in the moment and continues following the flower's path downstream, so much so that she leans all the way over the edge of the bridge and falls in to her death. The other interpretation is that through her soft singing to herself and gazing at the wilting flowers, one of those flowers drops, and she watches it splash into the brook. Because of the confusion and hurt sprung on her so suddenly, she watches the flower drop into the water and decides to join it herself. Having Ophelia faced away keeps the uncertainty alive through image. A face reveals much about a character, including whether or not Ophelia's slip into the water was intentional, the same question we are left with as readers.